What sets the stage for a church that God can use and will use to reach the lost? A church that walks in humility, a church that walks in love, and a church that is united. A church that walks in humility, that walks in love, and that walks in unity. Now, I'm gonna share with you 5 enemies of a church that walks in humility and love and unity. These are 5 things that over time I've observed in the church, not here at Pueblo's Church, in the other services. No, I'm just kidding, right? These are things that over the years I've observed happen in a church, and this sabotages humility, love, and unity in a church or even in a family. The first thing I share with you is gossip, el chisme, gossip. Right? What is gossip? Right? Gossip is when we talk to someone about something that they have no power or authority or influence to fix, right? So for instance, you go to check in your kid at children's ministry, and you know, whatever happened, you didn't get a ticket, you just took the kid to class, and they didn't receive your student because you need the ticket for a lot of reasons, security reasons being the biggest, and you get upset with the teacher that's there, they don't want to take my kid, blah, blah, blah. So the leader there has to come and, you know, settles the matter, takes care of things. You come over here, and then you find another sister in church, and you know, I took my kid over there, they don't know what they're doing over there. First of all, you don't want to volunteer, you don't even want to take care of your own kid. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you don't want to volunteer. Hey, you want to be over here. What do you think about them? They want to be here in the service as well. But you're talking to someone that has no authority to fix the issue. You're talking to someone that has no influence to fix the issue. That's gossip. And gossip kills an atmosphere or culture of humility, love, and unity in a church or in a family or in the workplace. Gossip. Or criticism. Gossip and criticism, right? Criticism, man, there are some people that they are just the critic, right? Let me tell you that when people gossip, when people criticize, no matter how thin the coin is, there's always 2 sides. And we only share one side. We only share one side. You know, if you were to go and investigate what happened, you probably would go to children's ministry and find out that when they first registered the kid, they used the mom's cell phone number. When they took the kid to check in, they insisted on using the dad's cell phone number so nothing would pop up. But you see, that part, no te lo contaron, right? That part they didn't tell you, they didn't share that part, right? And this is why, you know, we need to be very careful when we're around people and they bring gossip or they bring criticism. Let me tell you that criticism is so horrible. You show me a married couple, and if the husband is a critic of everything or the wife is a critic of everything, the other person is drowning. When a husband is married to a wife that criticizes everything, rather criticizes him, criticizes his family, criticizes the neighbors, criticizes the temperature, the weather, whatever it is, that man is drowning. A woman that's married to a man that criticizes everything, that criticizes her cooking, that criticizes the house, that criticizes her family, that criticizes, you know, her friends, that just criticize, that wife is drowning. Gossip, criticism, sabotage a culture of humility, love, and unity in the church. Pride. In days that we live in, people are okay with being proud. It's almost like a cool thing, and social media magnifies the pride of so many people. We need to be very careful because, first of all, our Lord humbled himself, and as followers of him, we need to live in a humble way. Do you remember in the last moments of Jesus and his disciples, one of the things that he did was he took off part of his clothing, took off like his shirt, we would say today. He got a basin with water. He got on his knees and began to wash his disciples' feet. That's the opposite of pride. That's the opposite of pride. And we have to be very careful. We live in a culture that celebrates pride. We live in a culture today where there's a certain group of people that take a whole month and celebrate pride, being proud. And this veneno, this poison of pride and being proud has crept into the church. We need to be careful. That's why we have pastors who think that they're celebrities. We have worship leaders who think that they are celebrities. We need to be very careful that we do not let pride creep into our lives. It is the opposite of humility. I will tell you that as a believer in Jesus, as a pastor of the church, but just as a believer in Jesus, if there's something that rubs me the wrong way, it is to see a proud Christian. It is to see a proud Christian. I mean, when I see a proud Christian, like that just rubs me the wrong. I mean, as I'll tell you in Spanish, me choca. Me cae mal. I mean, it's just so unsettling. For me to see a pastor that demonstrates pride, or for me to even catch it in my own life, or to see the people that I surround myself with when they walk in a way that is prideful, that just bothers me. Right? When you see people that believe that they're holier than others, that's pride. Right? There's something totally wrong with that. We have to understand that we are not holier than anyone, because the one who sets the standard when it comes to holiness is the one who day and night he is praised and worshiped by one word: you are holy, holy, holy. Jesus sets the standard on holiness, and compared to Jesus, Romans 3 verse 23 says that we are all sinners and fall short of the glory of God. Right? So we should never consider ourselves better than others. You know, I shared this in last service, that I have a lot of compassion. I have a lot of compassion for people that are well known, for pastors that are well known, for worship leaders that are well known, that are, found out in some sin. And then it's all over the news, it's all over social media that they were in an extramarital affair or what have you. And I know some people are like, well, that's what they get. Like, no, I have a lot of compassion for them. Because let me tell you that if we were to, all of us, stand in line and hook up some type of machine to our head, and on the screens, we're gonna see everything that you thought this week. Oh no, Pastor, no que muy santo. I thought you're so holy. We need to be careful. We need to be careful. Man, this is a lot deeper than if you would have stayed home and watched Netflix, right? We need to be careful, right? Gossip, criticism, pride, selfishness. 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 Just thinking of me, and for me and I, and me and my family, and me and us, and us. Like, no. We need to think of others. What did Jesus say when they asked him, what were the greatest commandment? The first one was to love God with everything. But the second one was similar. What was it? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. We cannot just think of me. I was reminded, because my mom was in one of the earlier services. And I remember we were kids, and we had some cousins come over to the house, and my mom ordered a pizza, and she put the pizza box in the middle of the table. My sister's here. She's already laughing because she knows the story I'm going to share. And so it's like me and my sister and I and two of our cousins. And we're like grabbing a piece. There's four of us, and grabbing a piece, and all of a sudden there's three left, right? And my sister reaches for one, and when she reaches for one, my cousin immediately grabs the other two, puts one on his plate, puts one on his little brother, and I'm just there like, we were kids. It's taken me 40 years to forgive them, but I've forgiven them. I've moved on. A lot of therapy and prayer and just digging deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were kids. Those things happen with kids. But you ain't 8. You're 28. You're 38. You're 48. You're 58. You're 68, 78. And you still acting like that? Self-centered, selfish, only thinking of yourself? No, we need to think of others. The last one, unforgiveness. This is a big problem. This will totally kill the culture of a church, of a healthy church that walks in humility and love and unity, is to not be able to forgive others. We need to learn to forgive. Okay, there was a mess up, a screw up that happened in children's ministry, trying to check in your kid, and you came 2 minutes late into worship. Forgive. The guy that opens the door, he didn't open it wide enough for you. Forgive. As my dad would say, forget about it, right? Just move on, forgive, forget, move on. So many people, their day is ruined because, they were at the red light, the light turned green, and the person behind them honked. And that's it, ruined their whole day over that. Forgive, just let it go. I'll share with you something that happened to me yesterday. I was at mi tienda, wanted a aguas fresca. And there's this lady in front of me, I'm next, and then two girls behind me. And so they're attending the lady in front of me. So another lady comes to help, and she says, "Quien sigue? Who's next?" And the two girls behind me jump over and got in line. And the lady that was in front of me looks at them, turns around, looks at me, looks at them, and I'm like, that's okay, it's okay. And she's like, "Él seguía, he was next." So the lady that's over, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, were you next?" Like, "No, don't worry about it. Go ahead." Some of you, your day would have been ruined. Some of you, man, that night, man, I was like, "No, forget about it." I mean, it might take me 3 minutes to forgive them, but forget about it. Just kidding. God is good. I kid you not. I kid you not. I still got my drink before them, paid before them, and left before them. And they just ordered a drink as well. Right? Imagine that would be all mad and bothered and upset. Yeah, I was next. Like they probably didn't even notice that they jumped in front of me. They probably thought I was with the lady in front of me. Who knows what they thought? They were talking. They weren't paying attention. But how many people get bothered and upset over superficial? Learn to forgive. Let it be water off a duck's back, Just learn to forgive. Let it go. I would tell you, many of you are missing out on some of God's greatest blessings for your life because you're holding on to some hurt or to some offense instead of letting go and opening your hands to receive the blessings that God has for you.